Hi, I'm Paris, and I'm speaking to you in binaural audio. What that means is if you're listening with earbuds or headphones, you should hear me snapping my fingers by your right ear. Now by your left ear. That's called positional audio. It's like stereo, but even wilder because it lets you hear things in the space around you. So where's the microphone? It's not on the table, not on the camera. It's actually in my ears. Yes, as you long suspected, I am a cyborg. Subscribe now. Resistance is futile. Actually, if you'd like to pause here and grab some headphones or earbuds, this will be a lot more interesting video because I'm going to demonstrate how this binaural audio works and tell you all about these cool little guys.
EpicReviewGuys.
These are the Roland CS-10EM earbud microphones, probably the most affordable way to try out binaural audio. Even so, they go for just over $80. There's a link to them right below this video. They actually do work as headphones. You can see the portion right here that goes into your ear. There are two plugs at the other end, so you can plug one in as a microphone, one as a headphone, and you can listen to yourself while you're recording. The other side, the silver side, that's where the microphones are built in. You'll notice the microphone is located right where sound enters the ear, and that's very important for binaural audio. Who knew Halloween props would come in handy year-round? Now, binaural audio is not something I had heard of before 2 weeks ago. I did a video on a product called an audio coloring book, which is a person whose voice and the music with that takes you through basically guided visual imagery of coloring with your mind. And so there were some interesting comments people made on that video, some of our viewers. So researching that, I learned about binaural audio and how it's actually a really good match for the virtual reality camera that we have and that I'm planning to do some videos with in terms of making a person feel like they're actually in that location. Now, stereo microphones record a left channel and a right channel, and they send those two signals to your two ears. But the microphones tend to be located together, so you don't have that positional feeling like is sound coming from behind me and to the left or to the front and over here. When you use binaural audio, you're supposed to have that effect. And the reason for that in part is what they call the head space, which is the space that your head takes up. You have to have the microphone, the left and right, separated by about a human head's width. You also need to have a solid object between, because if there's a sound over here, that sound will come into this ear much louder than this ear because it can't go through my head. It has to go bounce off the walls or something, and a tiny fraction of a second later then come into this ear. So there's a lot of complicated stuff going on, and your brain, interestingly, processes all of that almost instantaneously so you can tell where a sound is coming from. The other thing you want to have for binaural audio is ears, or at least something shaped like ears. More expensive binaural microphones provide you with the ears or the ear shapes. They're made out of rubber or silicone, and they're shaped pretty much like a human ear with a microphone down in the spot where the sound would come into the ear. And the reason for that is the shapes, the little folds and so forth around the ear do shape the sound as it comes into the ear and funnel it in. But also there's a sound shadow effect. If there's some sound happening behind you, you have a sense of where it is behind you based on the sound being blocked by the ear here. These Roland earbud microphones are a less expensive way to go because you don't need to buy a silicone molded head and ears and all of that. I'm providing my own head to provide the headspace. The thing with this is, if I were actually recording with the camera here, recording out, then it would match better with what you're seeing and hearing. The fact that you're looking at me now, just like when I snap my fingers here, you're hearing it in the opposite ear, is because this is the sound as I hear it, and if the camera's over there, it should actually be the sound as you hear it. So we're going to set that up with this guy right here. I hate to break it to you, but this is your head. I have attached the earbud microphones here, and I'm going to put this across the table from me, so you should be able to hear the sounds as though you were sitting right across the table from me. So here you are sitting across the table from me, and you should hear the sound exactly as it would be if you were right here. Now we have the ceiling fan going. I don't know if you can hear that. Occasional car going by, a little bit windy outside today. Mostly it would be room sound. So if I pick something up, like this roll of tape, and set it down over here, you should hear this out of this ear, that sticky sound. And over on the other side, now if I tap on the wall, it should be clear to you that I'm tapping on the wall here because you should hear it coming from the ear as you're facing me. So this audio should very nicely complement the virtual reality videos that I'd like to try out. For example, walking through the park, wearing those earbuds. From my perspective, you'll hear the sounds. From the virtual reality camera, which I haven't quite figured out whether to mount to a hat or my head or something, but you'll basically experience it from my perspective. The crunch of the gravel underfoot, the sound of the birds over there, the trees and the winds over here. You'll feel that you're immersed in that reality rather than sitting on your sofa at home with the virtual reality goggles and headphones. I guess I should be looking at you, but talking to you. Now there's a category of videos called ASMR videos, which again I had never heard of before comments on that audio coloring book video. I watched some of them. I didn't have the effect, but for some people with the ASMR response, people will feel a tingling in the back of their head and down their neck with particular audio in the video. Usually it's binaural audio, but the speaker in the video will whisper, speak very softly. They'll crumple up paper or make other sounds with objects that tends to trigger this tingling feeling. Or they'll reach over to the camera where the microphone is and they'll put their hand right above the left ear and say, I'm touching your left ear. And the people feel like they're actually touching their ear and they get these tingles. Sadly, I don't experience that ASMR response. I imagine it's fun if you do, and there are a lot of videos about that on YouTube. I'm interested in how binaural audio will work with virtual reality videos, and so I'm planning to post one of those here soon. In the meantime, I may use these just as regular microphone. It clears the desk and it's pretty good sound, and see how everyone likes them. Again, though, I will be wearing them, which is sort of the opposite effect because you should be hearing me as though you're right there and I'm speaking to you rather than hearing the sound as I hear it. Which is like this. If you're interested in the Roland CS-10EM, again, they're just over $80. I'll have a link to them down below this video, and hopefully shortly you'll get to hear them in conjunction with a virtual reality video. I'm really looking forward to that. You can keep checking back for that video, or you can click that subscribe button down below. Resistance is futile. See you on the next review.
Shopping is easy.